Joining us now is, somebody that, not me, but some people have referred to as a beta. Oh, it needs to be turned down, I guess. Ben Burgis, he's author of a book that everybody needs to order. If you haven't ordered it yet, you are, in fact, being a beta. Ben Burgis, let me tell you, no, I'm not going to make that joke. I'm going to hold fire on that one. But Ben Burgis is a genius. Order Logic for the Left. Give them an argument, Logic for the Left. It's a really essential book, including, I think, by the way, for things that people really enjoy doing, which is like one-upping relatives at family dinners.
Oh my God, that's my heroine.
You will love this book.
Oh man.
You will love Ben Burgis's book.
Yeah, I'm already addicted.
Okay, and now Ben Burgis's theme song. I want to go to mockery really badly.
I will.
So please go.
Okay.
You gotta restrain me. Debunk logic. You're gonna show us how to argue. It's like Linton Is this a new one? Oh, I think the other one is good.
This is based on data from a bunch of different countries. There's abundant evidence that at this point that's bullshit. Right-wing arguments, working out how they're supposed to fit together.
Obviously, we're going to need to mix in the Jesse Lee Peterson drops. Ben Burgis, welcome back. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
We're doing great, as always. Ben, are you there?
Yeah.
So Ben, you're on with. By the way, just this is the post game. I haven't responded. Jesse Lee Peterson has put in a request to have me on the show. Let's do a round.
Yeah.
Should I do that show or not?
All press.
Yeah, I think that'd be hilarious.
All press is good press. I don't know. I don't know how. My problem is I think the tendency that I have to make that scenario funny could get me into trouble. But it would be really funny.
What would it be?
Well, Jesse Lee Peterson promotes a lot of pretty racist views in politicians, in my estimation, on his show, in my opinion. And then he sort of hosts people like Ben that you'll see in a second, and basically calls them beta for holding basic human views and understanding basic things of American history. So I think it would be very funny if you had on you just thought another beta socialist. And I was just excuse me, Jesse, I'm speaking.
Right. And
you know what I mean? Yeah.
You metaphorically teabag him.
Yeah. And but by playing into exactly. Thank you, Emma.
You're welcome.
And then I play into some of the same dynamics that seem to be being promoted on that show. Don't interrupt me, Jesse. Excuse me. But anyways, Ben, tell us about your experience with Jesse Lee Peterson. But first, can we just play this clip because this is a lot of fun. I've been waiting for it all night. As says Emma.
All right.
Question is when you're assuming what you're trying to prove, which is what you're doing right now. You have a.
Why are you pretending not to see it?
To the assumption that you're right and I'm wrong about all this, and you're asking why I'm denying the truth. What I'm saying is that you are denying the truth. That as a matter of fact, it's just not true. That
are you an honest man, Ben?
Yes, I am.
Is he a what?
Is he an honest man?
So, do you agree with me that the left have no logic?
Yes.
What I agree with,
yeah.
What I say in the book is that people on the left should care more about
Ben, you're not answering that question either. I just asked you, do you agree with me that the left have no logic?
Charlatans like you who have made, in the last several minutes, you keep saying they're just questions. They're not questions. You're making assertions of fact, and you're saying, illegal immigrants are doing all of this harm to black people. Why don't
you're running like a beta male. Are you a beta male? Beta! Beta male!
Enough to believe that the phrase beta male means anything.
You are a beta male. I'm surprised you. Well, not surprised you're a leftist.
Ben?
If you were not a beta
Ben,
male,
did
you
you
wouldn't be
beta on the
elected.
phone?
because a sign of being secure in your masculinity.
No.
Wait, rewind it a little bit so Ben can hear him. He didn't hear himself. Just let him hear himself be called a beta, please. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, is that why you hung up? You didn't want to
Beta
hear that
male.
again?
Good enough to believe that the phrase beta male means anything.
You are a beta male. I'm surprised you. Well, not surprised you're a leftist.
Yes.
If you were
By the
not
way,
a
that's
beta
my
male.
favorite part. When he says, I'm surprised you're a beta male, then he pauses and he's just like, well, I'm not surprised you're a leftist. That is fucking awesome.
Ben, would you
Ben,
like to?
I think this is
yeah.
a major strategic
place to
weakness
stop.
on the left. We don't have people like this that are as fun, that have a great catchphrase. People,
Look how happy Ben is right now.
Ben is super happy because it's awesome. I mean, we're the ones who are out being like, Pete Buttigieg speaks multiple languages. Oh my God, look at Elizabeth Warren's Medium posts on her plan. Meanwhile, they have beta.
Right.
Boom. That's why Trump wins. What's the answer, Mr. Logic, Ben?
Well, I gotta say, just first impressions, I do wonder about the projection, since I would think that there are a lot of things that you can call a black man who defends white supremacy, but I wouldn't think alpha would be one of them. But, who knows? That's just me.
Whoa.
Shots
It's a little
fired.
logic there.
Shots fired.
That's very true.
Ben, where does logic come from?
Well, we can
You
keep
can't
playing.
answer.
Yeah.
Beta.
Yeah, I have so little
That's it.
so little of that
I
that I
love
literally
it.
don't even know what
She
that
gets
means.
it.
That's how dumb I am.
You can't answer it. Yeah, let's continue. I think we actually Emma pointed us in a good direction.
Yeah,
we
good,
should, we should
good,
get
good.
more information.
No, you wouldn't be a leftist.
Yeah, because a sign of being secure in your masculinity.
No, you're beta.
And say, I'm not a beta male. I'm not a beta male. You're a beta male.
Beta.
You're ridiculous, Jesse.
Beta.
And the fact that you
Ben.
feel need to resort to this nonsense.
Let me ask you, Ben.
with beta male
Shows
that you know that you don't have a leg to stand on in the argument.
Ben.
If you had an argument, you'd make it. You don't have an argument for your views.
Ben.
So instead of making it, you rely on nonsensical taunts about
Ben.
who's a male and try to disguise your arguments as questions. It's pathetic.
Ben, where does logic come from?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Logic
Ben,
is
I'm sorry,
about
Ben, you missed a big
how
opportunity.
I didn't
here.
ask what is it about. I asked where does it come from.
Hell yeah.
I have no idea what you even mean by that.
I didn't think so. So let me ask. And you're a
Is your
professor.
answer that it comes from God? Is that
Well,
where you're going
Ben,
with
you
this?
missed
You
a
are a
really obvious
professor of
opportunity
philosophy.
here. You know what I would have said?
What's
There is
that?
one correct answer to this that you missed. I'm sorry to say.
Oh God, what is it?
Oh, actually, Matt with a strong runner-up, which is the white man. Which, thank you, Matt. That's exactly. By the way, when I was being coy earlier, that would be the direction I would take the interview in. Like, Jesse, I'm white. Don't interrupt me. Excuse me. White man speaking. Yes, racism is very bad, Jesse. No, but the real answer to that one is Allah.
Oh, yeah.
Where do you think logic and divine mathematics came from?
Crazy.
I don't. Peace
Praise
be.
Allah.
Well,
Yeah.
peace be upon
Peace
the
be.
prophet who revealed his message. I don't know what's so difficult for people to understand. But Ben, you didn't answer the obvious way because you
Beta.
Thank you.
You think if I had said Allah, he would have just rolled with it?
Yeah, exactly. So what? All right. So Ben, this is fun for the debunk, but like, how do we even begin to debunk this here? Although I will say I like Jesse Lee Peterson a lot more than Jordan Peterson.
Are they related?
I'm like, no, we're not.
I hope so. Yeah. So his signature move is to ask these really reductive questions, and if you try to say anything like to indicate that like it's based on a false premise, it's not a yes or no question,
You try to
accuse
bait
you of
it.
not answering the question.
You try to bait it.
My favorite example of this was, do you support abortion? And I was like, well, I support abortion rights. He's like, no, that's not what I asked. I said, do you support abortion? It's like, does that mean I think like every pregnancy should end with abortion? No. No, that's not what I asked. I said, do you support abortion?
Yeah, right.
So,
yeah.
it's very
I love
difficult,
thoughts,
but except for to just kind of talk over him until you could, sort of explain what's wrong with the question. But I think the part of it that I found, the most interesting, maybe.
Want to pay for a child? Beta, Jesse. Beta. Sorry.
He kept pushing this line that, he'd asked me if I was successful under capitalism, and
right.
If so, why I didn't want to teach other people to be successful. He also said that about Bernie Sanders, that, Bernie Sanders is a wealthy man. Instead of trying to get people to be resentful, why doesn't he teach other people how to be wealthy?
Well, I think that's a little contradictory.
It's a good question.
If he was going to teach people how to be successful like him, he'd have to first teach them how to channel resentment.
Right, of course.
Yeah. Step number one.
Yeah.
And then by the time you're 76 years old, you write a bestseller about an improbable presidential run.
And you'll get
it's
a
done.
$300 jacket.
You'll have a $300, yeah.
Jacket.
God forbid you wear a fucking winter coat when you're a senior citizen.
Yeah.
Beta.
Yeah, which is clearly something that, if everybody did that, we wouldn't have poverty.
Oh, okay, I got it. So if every single person, so it's kind of like The Secret.
I know it's kind of like universal basic income for coats. Did I miss a step?
No, that's not right. So yeah, you
actually
just
discovered
everybody
Ben, did we lose you again?
just
Sorry, go ahead.
individually.
Beta connection.
Yeah.
Jesus.
No, just all 300 million or whatever Americans just need to run for president and write a book about it. How hard is that?
So what did he say in response to when you made this point?
He said that I wasn't answering his questions.
Because you probably weren't. Let's I didn't have to have some intellectual honesty here. Let's play a brief clip of DC Young Fly dealing with Jesse Lee Peterson. Actually, honestly, all kidding aside, Ben, your patience, we picked the highlights because they're hilarious, but actually having to sit and do that for 40 minutes, I'm honestly, when I look just at my schedule, I'm like, do I actually want to sit for, it would be funny for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It would be funny to say, not only do I support abortion, Jesse, I think that there should be a year-long amnesty after the kid is born to really see if the woman actually wants to deal with that shit. I have a lot of things that I could say that would be very funny, and also, you know what? It would be funny if I matched. I was like, what's the matter, Jesse? You're not answering my counter question? Beta. All right, but let's check out DC Young Fly and Jesse Lee Peterson for a second.
This is a good example of, I think, Jesse Lee Peterson's questioning technique.
Yes.
Where that?
You ain't see it?
But we'll check that out.
You gotta watch everything that your great white hope is doing.
Let me ask you this.
He calls Trump the great
men
white
are
hope.
under attack, especially straight, conservative, white men of power. What do you think about the fact?
KKK, nigga. You want to be white?
What do you think about the fact that
You want to be white so bad? I see it. That's why you getting light right here. Getting light right here. I'm gonna be white. I'm gonna try to tell. I see what's going on.
What do you think about the fact that straight, white, conservative men of power are under attack?
What you mean they under
Of
attack?
power,
They're
you're
hated
by
by
definition
so-
not
Nobody
under
hate them
attack.
folks.
Yes, they
That's
do.
y'all problem in the world. Y'all trying to divide people so goddamn bad. Ain't nobody divided. Ain't no. Oh look. This is my real estate agent. Sorry, we own property. Hello.
Sorry, we own property as he takes the call.
That full 50 minutes is very good viewing.
DC Young Fly is amazing.
Yeah, but I mean, Peterson, it's like he's struggling to say any words. Any words. He can't speak.
Amazing.
But amazing.
And he's a radio host.
Amazing.
Beta.
But yeah, I like
Beta.
the old power. The straight,
But Ben,
conservative white man
honestly-
old power.
Is he joking? Is he kind of in on it? Because there's a couple of times there where
He
does,
seems senile.
He seems like he's. It seems like,
Yeah, I did
it seems like he's
wonder about
smirking
that, though,
with you a
'cause
little
there
bit.
were a couple moments when I started laughing just because it was so ridiculous, and then he starts laughing too, and I wasn't quite sure what was going on with that.
Maybe he's laughing
Like,
what
you
a
know-
beta you are.
At least superficially when you rewatch it, it almost does seem like he's in on it for moments, and then he's back in persona.
Right. Right. I think that there is not a single person in media. This is just my opinion, but I think that there's always some element of like they're just like, hey, leave it on the field. Like I actually think that probably some of us who are more overtly like fucking around might in some cases be the most earnest types. Because I watched because whatever else you think about Jesse Lee Peterson, like, you know, that's a nice setup he's got there. You know what I mean? Like the numbers are working. I don't know. I don't know.
The amount of like right-wing outlets that have so many fancy studios and no one to fill them is immeasurable.
Easiest job in the world.
We're members only, so I can talk about how when I did Newsweek, like a Newsweek TV hit, and you know this fancy studio by right across from Bryant Park, gorgeous. No one is fucking in it. No one's in it.
Right.
So much money behind that, and it's just because like they're trying to push certain ideas out, and the viewership's just not there, and they have the hosts that are willing to be the figureheads behind that kind of talk.
Right. I mean, that's I-24. I mean, at
I
least
also
when
do that.
What'd you say?
I also do I-24.
Oh, I've done a lot of I-24.
I saw your I-24 hit. That was phenomenal.
Oh, with the Ilhan Omar thing.
Yes.
Well, that's the only satisfaction is going on there and literally having people. Although, again, honor system. This is all post game. There were a couple of hits I did where definitely the camera guys were like, "Thank you."
Yeah.
And clearly other people are just like, how dare you, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, it's amazing. It's a whole production. Like it's in Midtown. There's no doubt that renting that space and the cars to get the guests and all of this stuff, it's a whole operation. And I guarantee you more people are watching this show on YouTube.
Guaranteed.
Let alone the Young Turks. I mean, nobody at all. Like I'm saying, like, you know, if you get a stream on YouTube that has like 15,000 people, that's great. You get 100,000, that's fucking awesome. You have a whole cable organization. I could not imagine more than 1,000 people are watching at once on cable,
and
probably less.
Not only are their studios more expensive and they have the means to send cars and be fancy, they probably pay their hosts 6 times what I make.
Right. No doubt. No doubt.
I'm not bitter at all.
Beta. I-24 beta.
I'm a beta just by my career choice, kind of.
Ben, what would you like to leave us with for all of the logic lords out there?
Well, I guess I'd just say that you know, Jesse, like, in a way, like, he's a pretty ugly mirror for all these guys, because like he's giving you a really stripped down version of it,
right?
But like what he's saying really isn't different in any essential from like what Sean Hannity is saying.
Right.
Like that's
totally not.
You know, like it seems extra hilarious because of the like weird simplistic way that he says it.
I think Sean Hannity is extra hilarious. Fucking her lady of perpetual disappointment, second string football player. Fuck that guy. Please.
But I mean,
I don't think it's that different.
It gets right down to it, like the idea that the idea that like everybody could just become a best-selling author or whatever. So there's no such, there's no issue about structural poverty. His explanation of the racial wealth gap in terms of like what laziness. I guess that's his theory of that. Like it's not. I mean, if if you can see that it's ridiculous with Jesse Lee Peterson, like that it's all equally ridiculous. Like there's no daylight between him and any of the rest of his guys.
Absolutely. And not even that much daylight, I would say, between even like the sort of like neoliberal educate your way out of poverty people, to be honest. It's on the same continuum.
Absolutely. It's a variation on a theme. And, this is something, here, I'll give you a chance to use the soundboard, this is the fancy name for this. It's the fallacy of composition. So
Well, I thought it was
that's
you. I think he
the,
was queuing you up. For what? Probably the
Beta.
beta. Yeah, we can just say that.
but it's the composition fallacy, which is when you say that
you're
if
right.
something is true.
It's my board. My bad. Go ahead. Perry Mason.
All right.
Composition fallacy, no doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, which is when you say that if something's true of the parts of it, therefore it's true of the whole thing. And if you said, sure, upward mobility is a thing, individuals can do that, but, even if that were true of every individual, it couldn't be true of every individual at once. That, it's literally structurally impossible for everybody to
Why
rise
weren't
through
you
the
on
class-
Jeffrey Epstein's plane, Ben? Beta. I don't see you in
Yep,
the flat
there you go.
logs. Beta.
Beta.
That was what I was going to say earlier. I read this terrifying piece from 2002 that Daniel Bessner sent me from New York Magazine that it's about Epstein. And it's so amazing because it has all of and it's not like a piece where the author's writing it to say hey, I can't go all the way here, but follow the leads. It really is just who is this guy?
Yeah.
He's the new hedge funder about town. But all of the pieces are there, including I think this is the piece where there's the Trump quote about he loves beautiful women almost as much as I do, and on the younger side, it's all there, and it's terrifying and grotesque. And then they also have this whole other part about how, which again, this is another thing that I think we can thank everything from the economic crisis to Sanders to the resurgence of socialism of they're saying he loves to spend time with these brilliant minds, whether it's Bill Clinton or scientists, because they use something to the effect of he collects great minds, like a collector. And it was yeah, that's really healthy that we have this anonymous multi-billionaire who has a jet and gets to not only hobnob with, basically have subservient relationships with the most influential people on the planet just because he's a jet that he could warm up.
Not just because of the jets, because of
prostitutes
I would
and
imagine underage
so.
Girls he raped and exploited.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
fun times.
Yeah, we'll see what.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I was so engrossed
instead
in
of
reading about Malawi
encouraging
and AIDS
everybody to
reports.
become wealthy so they can be on the Jeffrey Epstein flight logs.
Yeah.
You know who's going to be a beta in prison?
Alan Dershowitz?
Wow. He's already that in real life. But Epstein's going to get it. I mean, I don't like prison rape jokes, but I can give an excuse or I can make an exception.
Oh my God. No, but I would honestly read these pieces from 2002 and I think also 2005. There were 2 New York Magazine pieces about Epstein. And the second one, I think by Phil Weiss, who ironically is the guy who does Mondo Weiss now, is a lot more skeptical. But it's it's all there. And it's, it's still written as oh, look, he's kind of a Woody Allen character. And he's friends with Bill Clinton.
He is a Woody Allen character in many respects.
Not in the sense intended.
Yeah.
No, we just can't elevate between Jesse Lee Peterson and Jeffrey Epstein. Ben Burgis, logic, give them an argument. Logic for the left. Thanks a million.
All right. Pleasure as always, Michael.
You've just watched a Michael Brooks show video, and you can watch all of our full main live shows every Tuesday night at around 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and subscribe to get all of the clips you want. We're covering the globe. We're focusing on international relations, the intellectual dark web. We're having fun. We're doing deep dives with a lot of amazing guests. Of course, become a patron for the whole thing at patreon.com/TMBS, or subscribe to this YouTube channel and help us keep growing and get that content out there. Subscribe below.